Is there a functional mortgage system in Nigeria?
Yes, mortgage does exist.
Why is the mortgage penetration still very low?
The problem has been that of interest rate. A mortgage is not a commodity. You're buying a 40 million naira house and then you have, let's say, 5 million and you want to do 35 million naira mortgage over 15, 20 years. Your monthly repayment is around 378,000 or 400,000 naira, thereabout. So people are paying double or thrice what it should be. So that has been discouraging a lot of people when they see the repayment plan. So I'm sitting here as the MD of Imperial Homes and also as the president of the Mortgage Banking Association. Actually, we have functional mortgage system in Nigeria, licensed by the CBN to focus on providing mortgage for Nigerians. The mortgage process in Nigeria is not different from what you have in other parts of the world, including Nigerians in diaspora that wants to buy a property in Nigeria. So most people don't have the bulk money to do your 10%. If you don't have, you can start your mortgage journey even if you do not have. If you buy a property when it's fully built, you are entering at the wrong time. And come in now, choose the project you want on the mainland, on the highland, in Abuja, other parts of Nigeria, in Lagos, and you can follow the process. And then you can choose to work for you. Is it a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom? You're also earning some 15% or 12% interest on them.
Look, this is Mortgage 101. So get your pen and paper. Hello, everyone. This is Key to Keys. Today, we're looking at one of the biggest factors driving real estate in Nigeria, and that is access to housing finance. Now, we are going right into the heart of this conversation with someone who understands the system inside out. My guest today is driving a new era of trust, innovation, and accountability. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have the MD of Imperial Mortgage Bank, Mr. Ayo Olowokere.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you. Now, today, we'll be talking about the truth behind mortgages and how every Nigerian, at least a large percentage of Nigerians, can actually own homes in Nigeria.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for coming on our podcast. I know it was short notice. Thank you for honoring the invitation.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So let's dive right in. Is there a functional mortgage system in Nigeria?
Yes.
Because we get asked that question a lot, especially from Nigerians in diaspora, that what we're used to here, and because a lot of developers, they offer 12 months plan, 18 months plan, and people think it's mortgage. So we get asked that question, is there a functional mortgage system in Nigeria? And you just answered. So if yes, why is the mortgage penetration still very low?
Okay, and I say yes because factually we have functional mortgage system in Nigeria. We have institutions registered, licensed by the CBN to focus on providing mortgage for Nigerians, including Nigerians in diaspora or anyone that wants to buy a property in Nigeria. And these institutions have been around for maybe 3 decades, so we call them primary mortgage banks. Now, your commercial banks can also, because they have universal banking license, coming from, there's a time we have commercial banks doing everything, then they have subsidiaries that are mortgage banks. Then Sanusi then came and now said, look, you need to sell the subsidiaries so that you focus on commercial banking. So a lot of them sold the subsidiaries. And the same story with the company where I currently work used to be GT Homes.
Exactly. I was going to get there.
GT Bank have to sell to private investors because the CBN said, look, you cannot own a subsidiary that is also licensed by the CBN. So they wanted to have entities that specializes in doing mortgages, that are conservative, able to attract long-term financing, able to manage the mortgage portfolio, which is quite different from your normal commercial banking. A lot of it is short term to middle terms. So we have mortgage because they are institutions, but it's been a lot of problems over the order. The problem has been that of interest rate.
Yeah.
And Nigeria, we like trying to do things in different ways, trying to achieve the result by bypassing the right way. Just like the FX liberalization we just had, just like the subsidy removal, we try to patch this. But developed economies, why they developed is because they found a solution around all these economic issues. And they said, look, the way to get yourself around FX issues is liberalize it. Government has no business subsidizing to some people, because at the end of the day, you're going to have different markets. You're going to have a black market, you're going to have a gray market, and you're going to have the official market. And people will be playing around the margins and the arbitrages. And the same thing has been for mortgage in Nigeria. Inflation has been a major issue affecting interest rates. And because the interest rates are high, people would rather pay down over time than biting the bullet and paying 30% per annum for a 20-year financing. But there have been mortgage. I've been working in the mortgage sector for 10, 11 years at the top level. But it's been very difficult until very recently. We have the federal mortgage bankers who are doing 6%. But for the inefficiency, that made it difficult for a lot of people to be patient enough. Yeah, but they are trying to clean up, digitalize a bit, evolving as well. But we now have a push because of what federal government is now doing and saying, on the interest side, let us try and intervene, provide a fund managed by private sector as fund managers, like we have the MRIF. Then we also have the family-owned funds. And then, so we see everything on a speed dial now. So there have been mortgage, uptake have been very slow and low because of interest rate. You look at the costs and then you will pull back. I give you an example. You're buying a 40 million naira house and then you have, let's say, 5 million, and you want to do 35 million naira mortgage over 15, 20 years. Your monthly repayment is around, I would say, 378,000 or 400,000 naira, thereabout, at the current government backed rate of 9.75 or thereabout, or less than 10%. But at the commercial rate we used to do at 29, 30%, you are looking at a repayment of 700,000 on a monthly basis for 15 years. So people are paying double or thrice what it should be. So that has been discouraging a lot of people when they see the repayment plan. It's either you say, I don't want to buy the house, or let me go and look for that means of buying the house.
Exactly. I think that has been the major issue, because we've had lots of people reach out, and before the intervention of the government, the interest is high, and then they see the interest rates. We see I think it went from, there was a time it was like 13%, then it got to 18%, and then it got to 25, 26, and now I think some banks, we have 32%. It's ridiculous. So walk us through the process, the entire process. Look, this is Mortgage 101. So get your pen and paper. Walk us through the mortgage process in Nigeria.
So the mortgage process in Nigeria is not so different from what you have in other parts of the world. We are not reinventing anything here. We've discussed the issue of the interest. So there are two major parts of the mortgage process. We call it underwriting from a mortgage bank side. One is we try to evaluate the borrower or the person buying the property, and we try to evaluate the property. And I tell people, most times when you evaluate the property and you're able to tick or check all the boxes correctly, you are 70% through the mortgage process. That is the most difficult part. So you have a property that fits your profile. So I tell a lot of young people, I have a property, 60 million. And I will ask, how much do you have in savings? You've been working for 6-7 years. They have 3 million. I said, no, that property is not for you because it's your profile. Some people, it's not a matter of how much you earn. It's the discipline to save. So some people earn ₦1 million and they could barely save 50,000. For 10 years, it is their culture. So I'm not going to change you through a mortgage process now for the next 15 years. You're already like a dry fish. So I can't bend you. I do much, you break. So some people with ₦1 million, they can save 700,000 a month.
Yeah.
Some people with 300,000, they can save 100,000 more than the guy that has $1 million. So that is why we always ask people, how much do you have? And we try to look at your account to see how you're able to get that savings, not how much you want to go and borrow as your equity. The purpose of the equity is to help us to say, How much do you have? Then we say that property is likely the property for you. Oh, I have 10 million over the last 3-4 years. Oh, this person is disciplined. And we say, okay, that property is for you. So you already have 10 million out of 60 million. So we now tick all the boxes. We do, first thing we do is we will do a title search. Does he have a good title on it? Second thing we do is we do what they call shattering. You know what it is?
Yeah.
It will show you what the title is not showing you.
Exactly.
The third thing we do is we do evaluation. Fourth thing we do you have a building plan approval? Or if the development is close to is in a big estate where the developer does not need to take a building plan approval for all the units. Like I'm building 2-bedroom flat, 100 units. I don't need individual building plan approval. I just need a layout approval.
Yeah.
Or close to sewage, Mr. Tokumbo Wahab will tell you need to get, there's something they call a sewage or a water drainage part approval, close a permit. So once we do all that and we're able to tick the box, we are 70% through the mortgage process. Like I mentioned, the last part is now to evaluate how much you earn.
What's the timeline for this? I think that's another constraint. People have said it takes months, and then what happens is they lose the property, because as much as you know how interesting this real estate system is, right? People are complaining that it's quite difficult to buy a home. However, homes are being sold every day. So that is another fear. Now we're bringing the mortgage bank in to come into this transaction. But the process of getting this project approved is another issue, because this may take a long time. So how long is your process?
So I'm sitting here as the MD of Imperial Homes and also as the president of the Mortgage Banking Association of Nigeria.
Okay.
So I can talk to a lot of our processes as well, not just only in Imperial Homes, but across board. So how long does it take? Typically, to evaluate the property and to evaluate the person should not take more than 2 weeks. But it depends a lot of things. It depends on government. There's government there because all these searches you want to do, sometimes you want to do a title search and they tell you some platforms is down.
Okay.
Or you want to do some hard search and you can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah. But typically, a search on the property and on the person is 2 weeks. If there is no hindrance from where you need to do those searches, and then a mortgage bank is doing that for more than 2 weeks, then there's no efficiency in there. That should be a red flag to you that, look, you are working with a mortgage bank that is not efficient. Then a lot also depend on the customer. I've talked about government.
Yeah.
A lot of the customer, we ask for a lot of these documents and they are not able to provide them. Is there a building plan approval? Show us the proof that there's a building plan approval. And they will talk to the developer. The developer will say, I'm not giving everybody my building plan approval.
Yeah.
I will say, just give us the number. Because it's a bulky document. Just give us the number. We can do the search ourselves, because we want to be on the safe side to make sure that you are also covered. Not 2-3 years down the line, they are pulling down the house.
Exactly.
If they pull down the house, the mortgage bank, we have 90% in it.
That's true.
Over the years, as you pay down, our interest go down and yours goes up.
Exactly.
But for the first 5 years, it's our baby. So we want it to survive. So we are particular about it. The developer needs to give you the title document. So sometimes they will give you a document. We need to do the shattering. That means we need to go to the site and make sure that, what you have on site tallies with the surveyor general. So the information we need from the customer / the vendor and the government determines a lot. But like I told you, by and large, it's 2 weeks to evaluate the property and then to evaluate the person. We just do credit search.
Okay.
Which, this is just a minute. We have platforms where we do that. We get your BVN, your NIN, do the credit search. Then we can spool your bank statement as well. We have my bank statement platform. We spool the bank statement. So they are quite easy.
How is this easy for Nigerians in diaspora? I think that was the question I got for the project we are on. That is Havana. Like Havana, we had a lot of clients in diaspora actually purchased, and they came through the mortgage bank too.
Yeah.
But they kept asking, how are they able to do their vetting? You just spoke about my bank statements and all of that. But these guys, they earn there, they don't earn here. And every of their financials are there. So how do you carry out that due diligence?
So we have platforms that we collaborate with.
Okay.
We did a lot of the Havana one. So for all those in diaspora, we have platforms where we're allowed to partner with technical platforms over there where we can do basic KYC. We do identity verification, address verification. We do AML, anti-money laundering, sanction list check to make sure you are not on one of them. Then we can also do, work verification. There's a way we can confirm where you've worked over the last 3 years. Some people don't even have work permit, but they are earning. So it's also a red flag. So we do that. Then, so for all that we onboard them, you don't need to come to Nigeria. All this is over the platforms. And for all that we're doing for Avalanche 2 now, onboarding, at HomeVest level.
Yes.
We're doing all that. So it's not at the mortgage processing level that we do all that. So there are partnership for all that, and all that is going on well.
Okay. We see that most mortgage products look the same. So what unique product is Imperial creating for the young professionals?
Yeah. So in Imperial Homes, we try to do things differently because we're different. We try to set ourselves apart from the market. People call things different names, but it's still the same plain vanilla mortgage. But we came up with a product we called HomeVest. We identified 3 problems. We call it pain points anyway, to use the Gen Z words. The first one is equity contribution, which we spoke about earlier on. The second one, aside equity contribution, is the property. So on the equity contribution and the property, and then the third one is financing the mortgage. So these are the 3 most important things. So the equity contribution, because most people don't have the bulk money to do your 10% or your 20%. So we say, okay, that is fine. If you don't have, you can start your mortgage journey even if you do not have. That is one. So we allow you to put on your equity contribution and over time, and spread it over time. Because also delivering a property, if you buy a property when it's fully built, you are entering at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So we always encourage you, young people, you start your journey when the developer is just starting. That's the best time.
You say that again.
When the developer is just starting, it's the best time to enter the transaction. Okay. You get the best deals in terms of pricing. Yeah. Even in terms of, this is where I want my unit to be.
Exactly.
Because a lot of variations happen along the way. By the time the developer is finishing and you are going there, you are buying practically secondary market.
Sure.
Yeah, because the developer is now looking at people selling in the secondary market to now also price the remaining units he has. So once the developer is starting, that's the best time for you to come. So on the equity contribution side, we try to solve that problem. On the property side, we also look for developments that they are just starting. So we are helping you to shop around the market, using our relationships and our partnerships that we have in the market, and say, what are you doing now? What are you doing next year? So we're already selling projects that are coming up next year to the developers. Then the third one, so you can come in now, choose the project you want on the mainland, on the highland, in Abuja, other parts of Nigeria, in Lagos, and then you can follow the process through. And then you can choose what works for you. Is it a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom? So you have all those options to pick from. Then the third one is the mortgage. So we have an array. You want to do family home funds, you want to do HEMRIF, you want to do Imperial Homes, you want to do NHF. So we have an array for you to choose from.
Okay.
Based on what suits you.
Okay.
But the good thing about it is that while you are contributing your equity contribution to be putting together, you're also earning some 15% or 12% interest on that. So, it's like a win-win. You're contributing.
Explain that, please.
So you are contributing. Let's take a typical example. Havana 1 or 2? 2. 2 is how much?
68 million.
68 million. So you want to do a 6.8 million naira equity contribution. You say, I only have 1 million now. Normally, Xylos will not listen to you if you tell him you have 1 million.
That's true.
He wants you to pay, Mr. Tosin wants you to pay 10% for you to put a leg in. Go and bring 6.8 million. But for Imperial, we will say, bring your 1 million. Then the remaining 5.8 million, you can spread it over 12 months, over 6 months, over 9 months, depending on the completion timeline. So as you are putting it together with your 1 million, you earn interest on it. So what Imperial does is I will look at such partners and we will buy bulk units.
Okay.
We did on Havana 1.
Yeah.
Havana 2, we are tidying up to buy between 50 to 100 units, so that people that go on this HomeVest scheme, they will be able to have property. The prices will not change at the end of the day, because we have locked down the property and you are clear about the price, you are clear about the delivery quality and timeline.
Yeah.
Because we're also going to have project management consultants, we are buying 100 units,
Of course.
Yeah. And aside Xylos, we have Netcom, we have Megamon, we have a lot of this that we partner. Megamon did a 378 units with Lagos State in Surulere. We funded it. And we have like 60 units we bought, and we've been able to push out everything now off the shelf. The project is completed. People are about moving in. Netcom, we did Oasis with them. We did Sun City. We did Victoria Citadel 1.0, 2.0. We're doing Capital Gardens with them. And when I say we are partnering with them, giving them construction financing, and aside that, we also have buying. So that people will have.
Yeah.
And we're particular about this kind of homes. I told you under 100 million. Because we said the young people, when you're buying house, you're starting, it's a starter kit.
Yeah.
You don't need to start from the homes in Instagram going for $2-3 million. Yeah, even outside the country, that's how people start.
Exactly.
People start from buying something in maybe Leeds, a 1 or 2 bedroom. But at the end, you see a 60-something-year-old man that has a house in central London. You go and visit him and you think that's not where he started.
Not where he started. That's true.
Where do you start from? He can even tell you he bought his first house in Scotland some 30 years ago, in some rural area. So we want young people to come into this. You are earning 100,000, 200,000, start saving towards your equity contribution. The opportunities will come. And then you latch on it. And if it don't come, what happens? You have your money.
That's true.
You have your savings there and you can wait to take the opportunity up. So that is why HomeVest is a bit different from every other thing. Because the other product, we just tell you, bring your equity contribution, show us your property, and then we will give you a mortgage. No, we're saying no. We allow you to build up your equity contribution sustainably way. We're able to work with you to get the property that fits in. And if it is off plan so that you don't lose it, we buy bulk of these units and keep them. And then we're able to give you an array of mortgage products. So it's a bit different in the market.
That's impressive. Let me just reiterate. The good thing is, Eden Oasis, we're now in partnership with Imperial Homes. Please say
Imperial Homes and Eden
Imperial Homes. Yeah, so we're now in partnership with Imperial Homes to, of course, by now you know that we're always and constantly trying to redefine real estate affordability. And so we've had meetings and yes, we're now in partnership for you to purchase your homes. I mean, that's why he's here, to break it down. And the interesting feature he just mentioned, HomeVest. What this means is, I know you've explained it, but let me be clear, is you don't have to have all the money right now. So the equity, if you have, say, for instance, what he said, 1 million naira for Havana, Lekki Havana, which I've been talking about. If you have 1 million naira as against the 5 million naira down payment that is required, you can contribute that. And the good thing is, if the price increases, the fact that they've contributed in HomeVest, the new price does not affect them, right?
No, because HomeVest have units.
Yeah, we have units. So you make your equity contribute your 1 million naira, and then you can spread the balance of, the 10% across 6 months or 12 months. And you're still spreading for like 5-10 years, right? Yeah. I think another thing we need to touch is the different categories. You mentioned MREF, NHF, which a lot of people know about the NHF, but then there's just been lots of irregularities. And at a point, people said you had to settle one person to get your request met and all of that. I hope we're not going to see that with MREF.
Okay, so let me clear the hair on NHF.
Okay.
That's operated by the Federal Mortgage Bank.
Okay.
And I'm not a surrogate of the Federal Mortgage Bank.
Okay.
I'm just a mortgage person. I would say not irregularities, it's just the normal bureaucracy that happen when everything is centralized somewhere. So, when you process all these things, goes to Abuja. And then you need to take hard copies to Abuja. So I'm processing for 100 people everything have to go to someone's desk in Abuja. I have an account officer. But what the Federal Mortgage Bank is doing to the NHF now is that they are digitalizing a lot of their processes. A lot of us as mortgage banks too, we have complaints based on the feedback we got from customers. And then you also hear the story that the developer have to be registered with the Federal Mortgage Bank, before they will be able to fund mortgages under your project. So a developer will say, so I will need to go and do some documentation with some people in Abuja because I want to sell property. No, I'm not selling to you. That is one leg to it. But before, it used to be the only option.
Yeah.
So some people had no choice than to. Now, we have options. Then they were doing 15 million naira maximum. Now they've increased it to 50 million. So you will see that they are getting feedbacks. Equity contribution is 10% up to 30 years. So it's long-term money out there for mortgage. On the family home funds, is a sort of a scheme under the Ministry of Finance, and then it's been here since during the Buhari regime. They started the family home funds. They got some money from the African Development Bank, very cheap. So all this money comes in at less than 5%. 4-point-something%. So they give it to mortgage banks. So before, mortgage banks blend it with their own corporate money.
Okay.
So when we had 30%, I blend it with the 4% and I have 34%. So the blend is actually 17. So family home funds give you half of the money. The mortgage bank gives you half of the money.
Okay.
So you get it at 17%. So it was a lot cheaper than what we used to have. But now what we have now is we now blend family home funds with MREF.
Okay.
So that still makes it far cheaper. So that is what you have now. Family home funds, you need 10% equity contribution, 15 years money. And then we'll come to MREF, 9.75%, 20% equity contribution, 20 years money. So you have all these options on the table. There's no reason why you should not consider any of them. Like I was telling you yesterday, any young person that is not buying a piece of Nigeria, that is the thing about owning a property in your motherland. And Diaspora are spending a lot of money. These are people that have gone there. Mm-hmm. Someone said, I sold my property here to move to the UK. He's now buying property. And it was very particular. He bought in the development we funded on Orchid, around the Orchid Road side there. And he sold it to move to the UK in 2019 before COVID. Now he told me he wants to buy in that particular estate. I said I need to talk to the developer if there's any. He said there are some secondary sales, so he's buying it at ×4. He sold his property for 60 million. He's now buying at 250 million. He doesn't mind, but he wants to buy that piece back. Because wherever you go outside the world, home is home. So we tell young people, before you start your sojourn of, I'm working remotely, I'm working from Estonia, from Japan, from the UK or the US, get a piece of Nigeria. And get a piece of Nigeria at less than 10%. If you are not buying it, you are losing money. Because you are leaving money on the table for others to take. Even if you have all the money to buy it, why not take a mortgage? Like I said, put your money in other investment that is yielding you more than 10%. This is on the table for you. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. So that is what I think about it generally.
Oh, beautiful. And I mean, it's interesting to know that we now have a single digit. It's
2-3 weeks. Oh.
Wow. This is a miracle.
Yes.
A miracle. So I see no reason why anybody watching this isn't jumping on this offer. And the good thing is it's not just open to Nigerians in Nigeria. It's open to Nigerians in diaspora.
Yes.
How about non-Nigerians?
Non-Nigerians is a very dicey one. I think we've had that discussion.
Yes. A client of mine is asking for a refund now. She's German. And she wanted to opt for the mortgage option. But Vivian, she's not Nigerian. Because we have lots of our clients. The good thing is, look, I think we're doing our part in telling our story. Oasis is doing, and wherever you are, I think you should give us a round of applause because we are telling our story, and we have a lot of non-Nigerians, never been to Nigeria, don't have any family here, buy properties in Nigeria just by watching our videos. And so she's one of them. But of course, the whole mortgage issue, and she's like, you know what? she can't proceed and all of that. So how can non-Nigerians buy properties?
So, there's this thing called regulation. The financial services sector is a bit delicate sector because a lot of what we do is interlinked. And it's just like the aviation sector, when some countries will say they will not you will not have visa if your government does not share some details with them. Because everybody, so you get to the UK now, they can scan your information page. Your information is there with the UK government. So everybody share this information. So what has happened to regulation is catching up with business, with fintech, really. What used to be before, you have the likes of some fintechs coming to the POS market.
Exactly.
Now the regulators sit back and say, how do we walk up to what these guys are doing? If you have a company that has 4-5 million POS devices out there, so the regulator will say, you are working against the regulation, but we need to amend. Because 5 million is a lot.
Yeah.
So, in meeting up and catching up, what the CBN has done recently, and they are listening, is this BVN for Nigerians in diaspora. You can meet online. Before, you need to be here physically. Now, you can take your own picture online, fingerprint their platforms online, generate your own BVN. If you are a Nigerian by birth or you're naturalized, then of course you need to bring a document that shows that you're a Nigerian by birth. Then if you are not, they are working up on that also. And that's why I say catching up, because if you are buying an asset here, there's a way, also like most countries outside, in Dubai, in the US, you are buying a property does not make you a citizen.
Yeah.
But you can open an account to a large extent if you can show that you are a resident, a licensed resident of other places. So in Nigeria, they are saying you must do BVN to show that you are a licensed resident, even if you are not a citizen. You are a licensed resident. So your customers need to be able to show that. If they have not been to Nigeria, they've not lived in Nigeria, they don't have anybody that lives in Nigeria, it's going to be difficult. But regulation is going to catch up to that. They know where those lapses are. They are trying to also attract investment. They are very careful. They are trying to also evaluate all the steps they are taking to see if this does not leave holes where, you have anti-money laundering issues that might set the country back in the international community space. So we will get there, but please, apologies to your customer.
Thank you. I mean, it's good to know that non-Nigerians are buying properties, as I'd seen Nigeria a fit place to invest in. Not been here before, never been. I mean, a lot of them actually. We have Italians. A lot of people come, I just want to buy something in Nigeria. I think Nigeria is beautiful. These houses are nice and they're affordable and all of that. So if we could catch up, it would make foreign investment really appealing to Nigerians, the diasporan community. All right. So what conceptions about mortgages do you believe Imperial Mortgage Bank must correct aggressively?
Aggressively?
Yeah.
The first one, mortgage does exist. Mortgage does work. Is a conception we need to correct.
Okay.
2, a mortgage is not a commodity. So the service expectation of the new generation is what we're trying to manage. Okay. And in managing that, we're employing very young people. I told you when we met, the average age. But we're particular, I can't be bringing old people to attend to the need of younger demography. So we know these people understand themselves, understand the pain points, the service points. So we're bringing on board young people. 2, mortgage and technology, they don't meet. It's a myth. They do meet, So you have people on Havana 1. Havana 1 now, I think we onboarded people on HomeVest.
Yeah.
In April.
April.
Now, it's nearly completed.
Exactly.
So we're now doing the mortgage for like 20-something people, and 90% of them are Nigerians in diaspora. And we've not met physically. Of course, in the mortgage process, we do what we call mortgage counseling. Which is going to be a virtual call.
Okay.
So we see your face. But aside that, We've done all our KYC, all our checks. We're fine. We know where you live. We've done our financial check on you wherever you are, even if you are not in Nigeria. So we use technology platforms. In fact, there was a time in Imperial 3 years ago that I told my people we will stop printing account opening form. And we did not print account opening form. In fact, I stopped approving money. So some people in business development, they will use their money to talk to our corporate printer to print. Because I was like, everything should be online. So when I go with my tablet, I can open account for you. You do everything, you sign, you submit, you get your account number. It's just BVN validation. And so those are the things that people thought technology will not meet with mortgage. It's a myth. Then the last one is the process efficient? Yeah, 2-3 weeks, we get it done. Like I said, you are not buying a commodity that you can just order and they'll tell you, we deliver you for 8 hours. A lot is dependent on the state government, the checks we need to do. A lot is dependent on legal works, deed of assignments,
Yeah.
To the extent that we need to do verification. You know what verification is before we've had instance where we did mortgages and because we did not verify, we found out we're dealing with clone documents or forged documents. So we have to be more careful. So those are the myths around it that we've been able to, dispose with.
Okay, so I have concerns. I mean, I can say for a certain that we are the biggest real estate platform for diaspora market. We have 99% of our clients Nigerians in diaspora and then non-Nigerians. And one major concern is fraud. Trust me, my diasporan community, and I know how they work because I've traveled in summer and in winter, and I know how I ask myself, how do people work in winter? So I know how every dollar matters. Okay. So the concern is fraud. They've dealt with, in fact, I was talking to one recently, we spoke for like 2 hours and she was lamenting family members. Some of them have dealt with family members and then they didn't see any house or any property. And you've dealt with agents, you've dealt with other people. So one major concern is how safe is the investment? What steps is Imperial Mortgage Bank taking to support investors who want safety, transparency, and access?
So I would say for Nigerians in diaspora, the fraud fear is justified. And I'll come back to the first statement I made about Nigeria and Nigerians who like doing things the wrong way.
Sure.
There's nowhere outside Nigeria that is trying to develop at the scale we are trying to, that you rely on your siblings or your family to build homes for you. We have a lot of Lebanese in Nigeria, a lot of Indians in Nigeria. They buy property. They don't send money home in tranches. They do foundation. You are trying to achieve a home ownership at a cheap price, but it also comes at a cost that can be steep. Really very disadvantageous. So I would say using the mortgage is the best way to cover yourself. And I would tell Nigerians in diaspora this. Using the mortgage is the best way to cover yourself. Because what you're doing is you're getting a property at a good price, off-plan price.
Yeah.
You are putting just one of your foot in the water, 10%.
That's a very tiny foot.
Tiny foot. And the mortgage bank is putting 90%. That is why when we do all those due diligence, I told you, first 1, 2, 3 years, we have more stake. We do title search. There's what they call hard search. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We do hard search because we have 90% of our money. So when I say MRE, Family Home Funds, NHF, whatever, it's our money. Because they give the mortgage bank a line. They give Imperial Home a line. Imperial Home, out of that line, now give you maybe a line of 6 billion. Now give 100 of you 60 million. That is 6 billion, Abi.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Imperial Home keeps paying MREF, Family Home Funds, Federal Mortgage Bank, every month. Interest and principal as scheduled on that 6 billion, whether all of you pay or not. In fact, if none of you pay for the next 10 years, nothing concerns them. We carry 100% the credit risk. So it is our interest and your own beneficial interest that will do all those searches well. Building plan approval. There's no property that we have gotten involved in in the last 5-6 years that I'm in Imperial Home, and Ministry of Environment is trying to pull off or to pull down. None, because we do all those searches. The title is intact, approval is intact. Whether you need a drainage approval because it's close to a water body, we say 30 meters to a water body, we make sure we get everything. If you don't get what we want, we will advise you, don't buy that property. We will not fund it. So some of them go to another mortgage bank. Or now say they will do installment payments and they still get their fingers burnt. Aside that, number 2 is insurance that comes with a mortgage. You know what it is. And it's some small amount of money. On a 60 million house or a 60 million mortgage, maybe you are paying 175,000 naira per annum. And then we divide it by 12. So we make sure you add it to your monthly repayment. If you are insuring your property yourself, you are going to pay bulk money.
That's true.
But we divide it by 7 and say pay 12,000 naira every month along your repayment, and you have an insurance cover. And what does it do? It gives you burglary insurance in case someone jump into your house and want to carry some property worth that value. We do special peril, which is new, but most people don't know. But we are practitioners, we know. Flood. Sometimes some area get flooded. People will not be able to live in there for 3 years. Or government will tell you sometimes you need to move to a higher plane. Anyway. Yeah. Number 3, there's something we call fire insurance. You get burnt, you are insured. Look, whether you pay or not, every year for all the properties on our book, we pay the insurance company. It's covered. So if anything happens to your property, you just come to us. So you are not the one discussing with the insurance company. We are the one. So imagine an insurance company that have more than 18 billion of residential property from Imperial Home on its book. And we are talking of a property of 200 million. That is small. So we get 100% cover on all those 3. Then there's something we call credit life insurance. That credit life insurance covers you when you lose your job.
Okay.
For the first 6 to 9 months, the insurance company, you lose your job, you were not sacked. You get the point. They will cover you. You are not dismissed due to any fraudulent activities. So your repayment is covered for 6 to 9 months.
Wow.
Which is enough for you to get a new job. After that, it reverts back to you. 2, permanent disability or death. The insurance company pays us your full outstanding balance. And we give the key to your next of kin. Wow. No loan again.
Wow.
So I had a lady that, at my former mortgage bank, they got the loan. I got to know her and her mother. Then the mother passed away. She had cancer, so painful. And then she came to meet me in Lagos at a new mortgage bank that her mom died a year ago. She can't pay this mortgage on a continuous basis. So she's looking to sell. I said, no, there's an insurance cover for you. So I rang them. I said, no, she did not tell them. So go with all the documents. And they looked at the mortgage document. You are the next of kin. So they wrote to the insurance company. Within a month, 43 million naira was paid to clear their standing balance. And she walked away with the property.
Are you serious?
Yes, she's schooling abroad. So
wow, that
is what happened when you work with a mortgage bank. There's a lot of things that are covered. We always try to tell our men as well to be careful with all this information because we've had instances where a woman tried killing a man because she knows she will walk away in this Nigeria.
Wow.
She will walk away with the property. But those are outliers anyway. But we have the insurance cover and you have a partner that can fight on you because we have big portfolios with this. And you don't want me to blacklist you and other mortgage banks not touching you as an insurance company. And, these are regulatory driven things that we must do. So why you think, the process takes 3-4 months, but you are buying a property you will live in for 15 years or 10 years, or you are going to use as an investment for the next 15 years or 10 years. And if you are tired of the mortgage, you can pay down. In Imperial Homes Mortgage Bank, there's no prepayment penalty. After 1 year, after 2 years, you have all the money. Give me my money. I'll walk away.
Really?
I'm happy. I'll give it to another person. Because people say, we have 18 million housing deficit gap.
Really?
And we are barely producing 100,000 houses every year. So why will I be stuck on you? You have the 40 million. Let me have it. There's another person that needed a property. I will give the person. So the need is limitless. 18 million housing units. If you are building one at 300 million naira, you are talking of 240 trillion naira. That is multiples of our country annual budget.
Exactly.
So the capital outlay we need to cover that gap is massive. The funding available is limited. So anybody that wants to exit, you are free.
You're free.
It's free entry.
Free exit. Perfect. For MREEF, what is the maximum amount that can be given?
Okay.
I know you said for...
I will talk about everyone.
Okay.
For family home funds is 90 million. For MREEF is 100 million.
Okay.
The property can be 200. Just make sure you are bringing 100 million. The maximum they can do is 100 million. For Imperial, we decided to do something a bit different.
Okay.
For properties where the developer is our partner, we're involved like Havana 2 and 1 or Capital Gardens or Megamond, we allow the 100 million. But for those others, we do maximum of 70. Because look, I have a defined line that I'm giving for a year. And I say, if I give everybody 100 million, I want to be able to do 2,500 mortgages in a year using that money. In fact, over the last 3 months alone, we have more than 400 mortgages. So we are very careful about, we want much more people to get it.
Yeah. And
tell people, if you are not working with a partner of ours, we'll do 70 max. But if you go to any mortgage bank, it's 100 million. And that is so it's 100 million maximum that you can take as a mortgage. But the property price is more than that. Your minimum equity is 10%, but it can be 100 million, it can be 200 million. If you're buying a 300 million naira property, if you have 200 million naira, then you can take 100 million MREEF mortgage or family home funds mortgage.
Okay. What about your Imperial mortgage?
So we don't have a limit. So we've done 150, we've done 250.
What's the interest like?
Now, okay. So now the interest is 25, 26 for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
That is so. And I would now ask, why do you want to do Imperial only when you can blend with family home funds? You can do MREEF.
No, looking at
the limitations.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's 25, 26.
These days, a lot of people want to buy houses, in the Lekki corridor and
25, 26.
Okay.
Yeah, because rates are starting to come
down. I'm even shocked that it's. Last time
I know.
Was about 32% thereabouts.
We never did 32,
Because I think MPR 27%.
Yeah. So normally it should be in that range. But we just thought, look, the highest we did was 29, but now we're doing 25, 26. And I will tell you, after COVID, 2020, 2021, we're doing 13, 14% mortgages.
Yeah,
and they're still on our books. So it's possible we get back to those regions. So imagine we have our commercial mortgage at 13, 14%. You now have MREEF. You now have family home funds, you have NHF. That's what you need to open up the economy.
Okay. Sorry. The questions are, because these are questions a lot of people have asked. So I just had to put everything into writing and, have you answer them. Another risk is the issue of delivery. How can we've seen that happen since 2020 till date. A lot of developers were not able to meet up the timeline. As a matter of fact, a lot more, just said, come get your refund. We can't proceed. How are you able to mitigate that?
So on the affordable housing end, and I'm talking of houses up to maybe 150 million, relatively, what we try to do is on the mortgage, we make sure the house is delivered before we do the mortgage.
Okay.
For when we have partners that will go in, we do the mortgage when the house is roofed already.
To a particular level.
To a particular level. Then we also make sure we have a project management consultant.
Okay, I was going to go there. Monitoring the quality
and then the
delivery timeline.
Okay. Because, developers always get their hands full. They are a different kind of human being. They are doing a lot of things. Yeah. And they've been very beneficial. They do what government should do. They will do infrastructure to their sites, infrastructure in their site. They will do what power holding companies should do, or power generation and power distribution.
Exactly.
They will do what utility companies should do. Then they will do what banks should do. Installment payments. Because that is banking.
Yeah.
They're actually providing banking services that instead of buying or not buying, outside in developed countries, we have institutions that are well positioned to do all this. You want to buy a car, you go somewhere. They have GM Finance, not the GM Motors. GM Finance will provide 0% money for you to pay in 4 years. So you walk away with the car, even no deposit. So you drive your car away. You start paying from month 1 or month 2. So they've been everything in the industry. So they lose focus of the core, which is delivering quality houses to the need of their customers, within the stated time frame. And I always advise them, where need be, phase the project so you can deliver some now. Yeah. I actually think developers that change prices of houses midway towards the end because of inflation, is not right. It's not the right thing to do, and I say it to their face, and I don't think it speaks well of them. When you collect people's money on installment payment plan, and they are not missing out on any of their payments, they should get their property at the stated price. Anything outside that is not right.
I'm going to touch that.
There's any story you can give me. Prices went up, a lot of things went up.
I'm going to touch that.
Except there is so I know a developer that wrote to the subscribers and declared force majeure. And I told the subscribers that if I'm the one buying, I'll get my lawyer to write him. He will pay my money back, pay me with interest, and will pay my lawyer's cost. Force majeure is maybe flood washed off.
Exactly.
Or government took over this
or
place.
Earthquake or something.
Or earthquake happened, and then that project is no longer. But that project is still going ahead. You are writing me force what? So those are some of the things they still need to do. I know I was speaking to the president of UMBAN and the chairman, the national president, to clean up. It should not be acceptable, really. And as a mortgage bank, very few of them do the off plan.
Yes.
With the few we do it, they are people of integrity, and they deliver on time. And when they don't, they communicate. That's another thing: proactive communication and engagement. You have to be transparent about it. So that is just what we do. But for others, we must see it's 95% completed. If we are to bend and say we'll do a mortgage on it, because once you pay, you are chasing them.
That's true. Now, talking about inflation and price changes. Now, for people who have come on board, like, for instance, those that started at 13%, now, of course, the interest has changed. Will they be paying at the 13% or at the new interest rate of 25, 26%?
So what we did was, if you look at the tenets of your mortgage, you have fixed interest mortgage, and you have a fixed flexible mortgage. Okay. The what we run for customers currently say, we are running this 13% for you. If there's major shift, we will need to adjust. So we have instances where we adjusted up, and we have instances where we are adjusted down for customers.
Oh, really?
Now, we're talking to some customers on construction finance that we did more than 30% for, saying we're going to adjust down. It's a proposal, we send it to our board to approve. So those are the things that we see in there. But the government schemes are fixed interest.
Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't change. If interest rate comes down to 1%, you pay the 9.75. If interest rate goes to 30%, you still pay the 9.75 for the.
Is there a time given? For instance, I know that in some places abroad, they give you like a time. In 2020, in Canada, I think there was a rate that was given, and 5 years later, a revised rate was given. Is that how it is? Would you give a rate? So even if anything happens, so far, it hadn't gotten to the extended time or the proposed time, you can't increase. Or it just happens abruptly due to the economic instability?
You can't increase or you can't decrease. It's not only increasing.
We like the decrease.
So what you tend to see, really is, I don't have any specific case, but what we try to do in Imperial Homes when we have such is that we watch the trend over. So we don't say NPR jump up today, you are increasing. So we watch it over 2 or 3 quarters and see whether it cools off or whether it's going to stay that way for a long time. So we don't wait for 5 years. That determines whether we increase. But we don't do it, NPR today is 20%. NPR tomorrow is 25%. So we wait. NPR is the next 2 months is now 27%. We now wait. Or it's now 29%. So you know that trend is still going to go on like that for some midterms before we make those changes. But aside that, we don't have the 5-year window. There's no rule of thumb. I know that was Canada and that was government stepping in anyway. Yes.
Okay, I think you've answered most of my questions. And if you have more questions to ask, of course, just reach out to us and we would assist. And I know we had a meeting before. We had like a Zoom meeting with some clients. I think we should have another come up where if you're interested in learning more about the mortgage system and how to purchase properties. And you said something about those who want to invest, starting small. And that is why we have projects like Lekki Havana, which is more or less like somewhat the most affordable right now along the Lekki corridor. So if you want to purchase that and you want to go through the mortgage, we can always have conversations and we could schedule a meeting, like a Zoom meeting with you so you understand and see how you could jump on offers that we have.
Yeah.
Mr. Ayo, thank you so much for coming on our podcast. We've learned a lot because for investment and for mortgages, it's not, some people are not financially literate. You know, they don't know about these things, finances, mortgages. We just go with what the media portrays. Everything is expensive, and then that's what goes viral. But we don't know that this information is available. This the MREIF, we have single digits. It's available. So thank you so much for making this information accessible to a lot of people watching this. And like I said, this is something everyone should be a part of. If you're earning, what's the range for young people who want to invest, who want to start purchasing? What should be their earning?
So, 500,000.
Okay.
It's not.
You don't have so many people earning 500,000.
So and I'm talking from the point of view that I saw some property for 24, 25 million. And we're doing for a government agency, FRSC, around the Arepo.
Okay.
And rent on those property is actually in the region of 2 million.
Okay.
So for investment purposes, you have it. And 2 years ago, they were selling those for 9 million.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that's the smallest that could come to my mind. I saw some around Yanopaja. Yeah, I'm sure
people should start becoming open to all of, this idea of everything must be island, Lekki. A lot of things. And we're talking about this, doing some things on the mainland. So
yeah, we're talking about it. Yeah. There's something big coming on the mainland.
It's coming on the mainland. So
big.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah. So and the repayment, the home buyers, 10% equity contribution was 2.8 million.
Wow.
And the repayment was around 168,000. So, typically we want the repayment to be a third of your salary. That's the closest I've come to in Lagos. But of course, outside Lagos,
it's cheaper.
In Ogun State, in Abuja, you can see 18 million on the haskets.
So this is not just for those who want to buy properties in Lagos. It's across Nigeria.
Yeah. So there are 18, 20 million houses because properties are cheaper outside Lagos.
Yeah.
We know Lagos because the land is expensive. It's gold.
Yeah.
I say that's good. Lagos gold.
Lagos oil.
Lagos oil. So yeah. So they are cheaper. So that's I see 168 to 150,000 monthly repayment with insurance. And I'm thinking, if we even have young people earning 300,000, I can do half of your salary.
Okay.
Once you show you are committed.
You're prudent too.
And we're doing a lot of things with partners, technology partners that are handling payrolls. They are showing us some figures and say, we have 100,000 people earning this. Do you want to come
Okay.
And I'll say, okay, show me what's their rent. And they did a survey and people's rent, 2 million, 3 million. If you can pay that rent, then you can buy a house, still be in there. The rent from that house. So imagine a house that is commanding a rent of 2 million and your monthly repayment is 170,000, 160,000. Divide your 2 million, even 1.5 by 12. The rent on it is already paying 70-80% of your repayment. In fact, you can pay your repayment for the whole year. If you collect the whole rent, put it in a fixed deposit and be dropping it on a monthly basis. Then you have your property there appreciating.
Wow.
So by the time you are now ready to buy something this side, you have a 27 million naira house that the value might have doubled. Oh, okay, I bought something from Xylos for Pride One. I have a client that bought Pride One when it was 28 million. Now she wants to sell for 75, 70. So, and the mortgage is still running. But you know, the house is yours. So 75, the mortgage is now 14 or 15 million. So you have 60 million. So that person can buy a van, cash down. That's what we tell people about. The best time to do it is now. Now. And you don't need all the money. It's strange things that have happened to our psyche and our mentality in Nigeria that you need to pay cash down. And it's corruption that made it look, because people steal money everywhere, at workplace, in government, and then they can buy all these things cash down, and everybody thinks that's the norm. That's not the norm. We are 200 million people, 40 million families. Maybe just 10% outliers, they are the ones that are corrupt. Even if you make your money, you make your money legit way, you see option for a mortgage at 9.75, you will do, because the return on your money is more than 9.75 now.
So true.
Yeah. Why do you want to lock your money in when you can get a 9.75 mortgage? Try that and then put your money in something that can give you 20%. And you can pay that 9.75 in folds.
Wow. So
that mentality, we need to start changing it a bit. It's something that has been going on for a long time. So so people think the information is there, but people have blocked their mind. No, there's no mortgage. Because since 1960, that is how Nigeria has been built up. We never have government and policy and administration that are focused on how do people get housing finance. We never had it. Because those that are supposed to be formulating the policies are busy stealing. They don't need housing finance themselves. They can pay out of pocket. Because if they do, they will sit down with the governor one day and say, That's true. How do we? You know, so those are the things. I don't want to go into a lot of things. We've had a very wonderful meeting with you. You know, we have webinars to show it up.
Exactly.
I think that is my evangelism now.
Yes.
Mortgage is real.
Yes.
Mortgage is happening. Come to Imperial Homes Mortgage Bank.
Exactly.
You know, talk to Eden Oasis.
Thank you so much,
Get the property and let's do the deal.
Let's do the deal. I mean, I'm ready. Look, I think my new mission is mission 5,000 homes between now and December.
Mission 5,000.
You said 2.5 per year. I don't think you've not gotten up to 1,000, right?
I'm not going to 3 months. In 3 months, I'm not getting
We're going to make magic happen. You're watching this. Start calling our numbers right now. Mortgage is possible. Owning a home has become very easy, and we've come into partnership with Imperial Mortgage Bank. The MD is right here. Thank you so much, Mr. Ayo. This has been so insightful.
Thank you very
much. Such a wonderful conversation, and I believe a lot of people have learned about what is happening in Nigeria. So we'll come your way again. My name is Confidence, and this is Key to Keys.